The armor in the dirt sky above Orvik 3 was always gray. Dust clouds hung in the air like old ghosts. Nothing green ever grew here. Nothing alive stayed long. But humans like Kai came anyway, because this was a junk planet, and junk could be sold. Kai walked through a broken field of twisted metal, wires, and old war machines. He wore torn boots, a cracked visor, and carried a small bag over his shoulder. The planet was silent, except for the wind and the quiet beep of his scanner. Ping, ping, ping. He stepped over a dead robot, its eyes still glowing faintly. He didn't look at it twice. There were thousands like it. What he wanted was something rare. Something old. Something valuable. He stopped near a crater. His scanner beeped faster. Come on, he whispered. He dug through the dirt with a metal rod. Clunk. Metal. His eyes lit up. He cleared the dirt with his hands. Chest plate. Black. Smooth. Not rusted. Kai grabbed it. Cold. But somehow warmed. Like it was waiting. He lifted it up and felt a strange pull in his arms. Then a voice behind him. Deep. Slow. Angry. Put it back, or you're next. Kai froze. He turned. No one was there. He looked left. Right. Nothing. Just wind. Scrap. Silence. Who's there? He asked. No answer. He looked at the armor in his hands. It was heavier now, but he didn't want to drop it. Must be the wind, he said to himself. He turned and walked away, but something followed. Kai reached his small outpost on the edge of the junk field. He placed the chest plate on the table. It shimmered under the dim lights. He touched it again. A spark ran through his fingers. He jerked back. Okay, weird. He tried to scan it. The scanner glitched. Numbers appeared, then vanished. He frowned. No record. He tried again. Error. Classified tech. Level X. Kai stared at it. Level X. Even military gear didn't go that high. He leaned closer. Etched near the collar was a symbol ani inside a triangle. He didn't know it, but he had seen it once, long ago, on a wanted poster for a mercenary called Vekin the Ghost. Rumors said Vekin never died, that he just vanished during the war. Others said his armor walked alone. Kai laughed. Just stories, he said. He turned off the lights and went to sleep. At midnight, the lights turned back on by themselves. The armor glowed faintly, and the voice returned. This time, from inside his head, this body is not yours. Kai shot up. His chest was burning. He looked down. The armor was now on him. Locked in place. He screamed. Tried to pull it off. Nothing. It held tight. He grabbed a tool and hit the metal. No mark. No. Then. His eyes widened. He fell to the floor. What is this? He ran to the mirror. The armor had fused to his skin. Veins around it were glowing. And then his reflection moved before he did, and it spoke. You touched the death skin. Now you carry the dead. Kai backed away. He wanted to scream, but nothing came out. Just cold breath. He ran outside. Into the junk fields. The wind howled. The sky flashed, and in the distance, he saw a shadow standing on a pile of broken metal. Tall. Silent. Watching. He blinked and it was gone. Kai fell to his knees. He whispered, I just wanted to survive. But the voice inside said, then learn to kill. Asterisk hunted and Deliath. Next morning, the sky was still gray, but something had changed. Kai didn't sleep. He sat on the cold floor, staring at his arms. The black armor was still there. Hard as stone, shaped like muscle. Veins of soft silver light moved beneath it. It didn't hurt anymore. But it felt alive. He moved his fingers. The armor moved to but slower, like it was thinking first. What are you? He whispered. No answer. No voice. No warning. Just silence. Kai packed his bag quickly. If this armor was dangerous, he needed to get rid of it. He couldn't stay on, or VEK-3. Someone might come looking, and deep down, he felt it. Something was coming. Something that wanted the armor back. He ran toward the trade station 5 miles east. He didn't get far. The first hunter arrived before noon. A ship passed low above the junk hills, gray and silent. To clean. To be a scavenger. Kai dropped behind a rusted crawler tank. The ship hovered. Then landed. 3 figures stepped out. Black CLOAKs. Red visors. He knew what they were. Mercenary hunters. They didn't search with scanners. They just stood, listening. Kai held his breath. One of them turned slowly. And pointed toward the tank. Right where Kai was hiding. A voice crackled from a mask. The armor breathes. He has it. Kai ran. Metal feet chased him across the junk. He leapt over a broken ship wing and rolled down a slope. Blast of fire burned the ground behind him. He reached an old pipe tunnel and dove in darkness cold silent but not alone. Inside the tunnel, a shape moved, a female figure slim tall alien her skin glowed faint green. She held a curved blade and looked at him like she knew him. Kai raised his hands. I'm not a threat. She stepped closer. You're wearing Vecken's skin. Kai froze. You know this armor. She nodded. Double quotes. I fought beside the man who wore it last. Her eyes narrowed. You shouldn't have touched it. I didn't mean to. He backed away. I needed something to sell. The woman stared for a long moment, then looked past him. They're coming. Move. They ran. The tunnel opened into an underground cave full of old tech. The woman pressed a panel. A door slid open. They hid inside. Metal footsteps passed above them. Kai sat down, gasping. Who are you? Lyra. What do you want? She didn't answer. Instead, she asked, do you hear the voice yet? Kai stared at her. Double quotes. Yes. Then you're already cursed. She told him about VKK and a killer, a hero, a traitor. No one agreed on what he really was. But one thing was clear. His armor was not just metal. It was alive. I learned. I remembered. And now, it had chosen Kai. Can I take it off? He asked. Lyra shook her head. Not without dying. Kai looked down. Then I guess I'm dead already. But Lyra said something strange. Maybe not. Maybe you're the only one who can survive it. Kai looked up. Why me? She stood. That's what we're going to find out. Suddenly, an explosion shook the cave. They were found. The ghost of Worth Cave filled with smoke. Rocks fell. Dust choked the air. Kai coughed and pulled Lyra behind a fallen pipe. They found us. He whispered. Lyra didn't panic. She pulled out a small disc from her belt and tossed it forward. It flashed blue, then opened the doorway in the cave wall. Move, she said. Kai ran with her through the new tunnel. Behind them, the hunters entered the cave. Delayed. The door closed. They followed the tunnel for hours. Down deeper into the ground. Finally, they reached a large room. Walls of steel. Lights still working. Machines hummed softly. It was an old war bunker. Lyra sat on a metal crate and looked at Kai. You need to know what's inside you, she said. Kai nodded slowly. He had to understand, or this armor would control him. Lyra told him the story. Many years ago, during the alien-human war, there was a mercenary named VKK and not a soldier, not a leader. Just one man. But people feared his name. They called him the Ghost of War. He wore armor made from ancient tech armor that could learn, heal, and fight by itself. Vecken was unbeatable until one day he vanished. Some say he died. Others said he became the armor. Kai listened, eyes wide. And you knew him? Lyra nodded. I fought beside him. He saved my life once. So why did he disappear? She looked away. He betrayed his own team to save a human colony. Kai frowned. He turned against you. Yes, for peace. Kai looked down at the armor on his arms. And now this thing is him. Maybe part of him. Lyra said. His voice. His memory. Maybe more. Kai stood up and walked to the mirror on the far wall. He looked at his reflection. The armor was changing. More of it had spread over his back and legs. His eyes looked different. Sharper. Colder. He touched his face. It was still his. But for how long? That night, the voice came again. Inside his head, clearer than before. You're not ready. Stop fighting me. Kai answered out loud. What do you want? To finish what I started. Kai's hands trembled. What did you start? Protection, justice, war. Kai shook his head. I'm not a killer. You will be, or you'll die. The next morning, Lyra gave him a small chip. This was Vecken's last message. We never opened it. Kai placed it in the wall screen. The image of a scarred alien man appeared. VKKN. His voice was calm. If you're seeing this, then my armor has chosen someone new. I made the suit to protect. What it remembers war better than peace. Don't let it become your cage. Kai stared at the screen. Vecken looked right at him. Remember, you were the armor. It does. Not where you. The screen blinked off. Lyra looked at Kai. Do you understand now? Kai nodded. I have to control it, or it'll control me. Good, she said, because someone else wants it back. Who? Lyra stood. The warlord who funded this armor. He's still alive, and he just sent an army outside. The ground shook. Ships landed near the ruins. Kai walked to the door. His hands glowed. His voice steady. Then it's time to fight. Trader protocol. The bunker lights flickered. Outside. Engines roared. Kai stood at the door. Armor glowing softly. His heart beat faster. But his hands didn't shake. He wasn't the same scavenger anymore. He was something else. Maybe something dangerous. Lyra checked her scanner. They're surrounding the area. For ships. Maybe 20 soldiers. Mercenaries. Kai asked. She nodded. They belong to the one who built this armor. His name is Vornas, a warlord. Rich, cruel. Kai looked at his arms. He wants the armor back. No, Lyra said. He wants you dead. The armor obeys only the one it chooses, and it didn't choose him. The ground trembled. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lyra handed Kai a small blade. If the armor takes control, stab this into your chest. It will shut the suit down. Kai stared at the blade. I'll fight it. Promise me, she said. He didn't answer, just closed his fingers around the blade, and walked out. Outside, the sun was low and red. Mercenaries waited with blasters. One step forward. Tall. Helmet shaped like a hawk. Voice deep. Remove the armor, or we remove it with your skin. Kai didn't move. His voice was calm. Try. They fired. Kai moved faster than thought. The armor lit up with energy. Bullets stopped in the air, then dropped. Kai dashed forward. Hit one soldier in the chest. Armor cracked. He spun. Kicked another through the air. He didn't know how he was doing it. But the armor knew. It guided him. It helped him. And for a moment Kai let go. Lyra watched from the bunker, her eyes wide. He's merging too fast, she whispered. Kai stood among fallen soldiers, his breath heavy, his arms glowing brighter. Now. The voice returned. Do you see now? This is your strength. Kai dropped to one knee. His hands shook. He felt cold. Inside. Like a part of him was slipping away. No, I'm not like you. You are becoming me. He stumbled back into the bunker. Lyra ran to him. What happened? Kai looked up. His eyes glowed faint red. I lost time. How much? Minutes. What did you feel? He paused, then whispered, nothing. Lyra looked afraid. For the first time, you need to separate from it before it replaces you. Kai stood slowly. I won't be Vekin. I'll be better. No, she said, you'll be gone. She led him to an old lab hidden below the bunker, walls lined with wires and tanks. In the center, an ancient seat with metal arms. This machine can connect to the armor's memory. Kai sat down. Then let's see who Vekin really was. The machine activated. Wires latched to his back. His eyes closed, and he fell into someone else's past. He saw planets burning. Vekin standing alone against armies. Then he saw a child. Small. Afraid. VKK and dropped his weapon. And picked her up. He didn't kill her. He protected her. The scene shifted. VKK and stood before a council. They called him a traitor. He didn't speak. He just turned and walked away. Kai opened his eyes, tears on his face. He didn't betray them. They betrayed him. Lyra nodded. Double quotes. And now you carry what he left behind. Kai stood. Stronger. Calmer. Then I'll finish his mission. Outside, another army landed. This time, with a leader. A voice echoed through the canyons. Give me my creation or face extinction. Kai stepped outside, his armor shining under the dark sky. Come take it. Asterisk. The voice becomes him. Vornas stood tall at the front of his army. His armor was gold and black, polished and full of sharp edges. His eyes were covered by a mask, but his voice was loud and full of pride. I paid for that armor. I forged the core with my own scientists. It belongs to me. Kai walked forward, calm but burning inside. The black armor over his body pulsed like it was alive. He spoke slowly. You paid for metal, not for its soul. Vornas raised his hand. His soldiers aimed their weapons, but Kai didn't flinch. Inside his head, the voice of Vekin whispered again. You are ready now. Let go. Let me guide your hands. Kai closed his eyes. When he opened them, they were no longer just human. The air cracked. Kai moved like lightning. His hands glowed with power. He leapt into the air and crashed into the center of Vornas' troops. Blades of energy formed around his arms. He spun, struck, blocked. Nothing could touch him. Lyra watched from a high ridge. Her hands were tied around her weapon, but she didn't fire. He's giving it, she whispered. Too far. On the battlefield, Kai screamed. The voice inside grew louder. You are my final weapon. Complete the war. No. Kai shouted out loud. He dropped a one knee. Blasters aimed at him again. But he didn't move. Not to dodge, not to attack. He breathed and spoke. I am not you. The armor pulsed. Then still. Then prove it. Kai stood up. Calm. Focused. He lifted his hand and didn't strike. He just walked forward. Every soldier hesitated. They looked at Vorn as snarled. What are you doing? Fire. But the soldiers didn't move. Something about Kai made their hands shake. His steps were slow. His voice was clear. Vekin chose me because I have one thing you don't. Mercy. Vornas pulled a hidden blade. Charged forward. Kai didn't move. At the last second. The armor reacted, blocked the blade with an energy shield. Then wrapped Vornas in shadowed metal. Kai whispered, you built this suit to conquer. I wear it to protect. Lyra reached his side. She looked at him closely. You're still you. Kai nodded. Double quotes, yes. But barely. Then you won the real fight. They looked out over the field. Vorn as was defeated. His army broken. But something else began to rise. In the sky. A strange shape appeared. Round. Dark. Like a moon. But pulsing. The armor spoke again. This is what I was built to stop. Kai whispered. What is that? Not what. Who? Asterisk. The thing that watched that sky stood on a cliff edge, looking at the dark shape in the sky. It wasn't a ship. It was bigger. Round. And pulsing like a heartbeat. The armor whispered inside his mind. The Watcher returns. Kai's breath caught. Who is the Watcher? The voice answered. An ancient enemy, a destroyer born from silence and shadow. Below, the ruined cities of Orvik 3 lay still. The Watcher's arrival made the ground tremble. Kai turned to Lyra. We need to warn the others. They ran through the underground tunnels. The mercenary hunters had regrouped. Now they fought not just for the armor, but for survival. Kai felt the armor grow heavier. The voice warned, soon you will face the choice. Let me take control, or lose everything. Lyra's eyes filled with fear. Don't let it. Outside, the Watcher's shadow grew. Ships emerged from it, silent, deadly, fast. The sky filled with fire. The Empire was falling. Kai and Lyra reached the rebel base. The leaders gathered, faces pale. Kai told them what he saw. They prepared for battle, but no weapon could fight the Watcher. Only a sacrifice. Kai sat alone under the stars. The armor hummed softly. The voice inside whispered, you are the last line, the final hope. Kai clenched his fists. Then I will stand. The Watcher's shadow blotted out the stars. The final battle was coming. Kai stood ready. Not just a man, but the armor. And the ghost within. Asterisk. The last stand. Watcher filled the sky. Its dark ships spread like a storm. The ground shook beneath Kai's feet. Lyra stood by his side. The rebel army gathered. They were outnumbered. But not without hope. Kai felt the armor pulse. The voice whispered, this is the end, or the beginning. He looked at Lyra. Ready? She nodded. The battle began. Lasers cut the sky. Explosions rocked the earth. Kai fought like never before. The armor guided him. He moved faster than light, stronger than steel. But inside, he struggled. The voice wanted control. Kai held on. He shouted, not today. He leapt to the Watcher's command ship. His blade burned bright. He cut through guards. He reached the core. The Watcher's eye opened. Cold, empty. Kai struck the core. Light exploded. The Watcher screamed. Its ships fell. The sky cleared. The rebels cheered. Kai collapsed. The armor faded. He was free. Lyra caught him. He smiled weakly. We did it. Months later. Kai and Lyra walked through new fields. The Watcher was gone, but the memory remained. Kai looked at the armor, now stored away. He whispered, I am not a weapon. I am a warning. The stars shone bright. And a new hope began.